Disclaimer, this is for adult audiences only. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff regarding mental illness and children losing their lives, as well as an adult lives lost, as well as all sorts of stuff that might be triggering to certain people for certain reasons. These are my thoughts, commentary, and opinion only. I've already made quite a bit of content on this channel, kind of encompassing what my major points are today. I just really wanted to hop on here while it was fairly good timing for a little bit. I hardly ever do lives during the day. So, this is about a case recently from Millersburg, Ohio. That's where the woman is from. I'm sorry, I am confused exactly where this lake was. Apparently, it wasn't near their home where they're from, but it Ohio. And this is regarding a woman named in court in regards to the unaliving of her 4-year-old child. And the same day the 4-year-old's child father's life was lost. I'm assuming at this point, 5 days or so later, they proof to confirm that was a suicide. I don't know for sure though how they did that. I watched everything I could on YouTube, and there was just so many things I found so interesting, including mostly people's attitudes and beliefs towards people that are Amish. And I want to say this first. Like, I don't mean to bring no hate to anybody. Please don't hate on anybody just because of my thoughts and commentary opinion. What I'm about to tell you is somebody who has spent more time around Amish people than the average person. I'm not saying I befriended them, but I'm saying like I've done a lot of deliveries in communities where they work. I just passed 4 horse and buggies the other day when I left my house. We reside in a community where there's a lot of them. And anyway, so this case just brought up so much of what I've been thinking, particularly, hey Yoder, since, oh hey Earth Brain, since I wanted to say this within the first few minutes of this video. I did not put him in a tag yet, but Titus Morris lives in Liberty, Kentucky. That's not too far from me and my family. And I started making content about how this man was featured on a big YouTuber's channel, Peter Santinello, after which he raised well over $250,000 to start his own church because he was somewhat of a street preacher, that, a country bumpkin street preacher. After which it came out during a court court that he was indecent in front of children on several occasions, including pulling down his pants, sitting on his foreskin when the 12-year-old boy was present. It was supposedly was going to be his assistant or something like that. Titus Morris ended up going to the hospital in Liberty, Kentucky. I have no idea why he wasn't charged with anything then. He was definitely a full-blown adult at this point. But I don't know. Is it because he dresses like he's Amish? And then it's like you see the way that these people handled this woman when she was first came up, like the body cam footage from her arrest. She's like putting her hands on the cop, like laying hands on them, praying with them. Nobody else would get away with this. I don't think it's fair or right. And even on court TV, I'm sorry, I forget the name, but he was obviously a former detective because he said it's like winning the Powerball, getting the Amish to talk to you about something because he had to interview a bunch of them for a missing child's case. And they laughed about it. Him and the lady on court TV were like, oh, ha, 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 ha." Now, if you're talking about black people from the ghetto, how they wouldn't talk to you about a missing child's case, I just feel like they wouldn't be like, oh, ha, 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 ha." It's not funny. It's not funny that they can evade the law. And that's why so many of you are under the false pretense that they don't ever break the law. They literally don't believe in calling the law. There's so many laws broken. They're just like everybody else. There's good Amish people, there's bad Amish people. They're just like everybody else. You're not inherently good just because you're Amish. People need to get over that. You're not they do drink. They're just like everybody else, okay? Some of them are going to be the kind of stereotypical Amish, of course, that you have in your mind that's like the pious lifestyle that you don't realize. I mean, there's plenty of proof out here now. There's plenty of books being written by people who left the Amish. Cults to Consciousness is a great YouTube channel here where she lets these people who have left speak for themselves. And of course, there are good Amish families. There are good Amish families that are not what I'm talking about. That are the exact opposite of what I'm about to say. I can't stress that enough. But people don't realize they're not all good like that. There's Amish families that don't tell their daughters what a period is. They don't know what their menstrual cycle is. And when they start bleeding, they're like, whoa, I'm dying. They don't tell them what pregnancy is. When the woman is pregnant, they call it the sickness. And like, then she just disappears and comes back with a baby. And like, usually the kids put two and two together because they're being raised on a farm and they see livestock procreate. There was even one where this man was like, Dad, is that like how people do it too? And his dad was like, yeah, but don't tell anybody I told you. This is the kind of oppressive, this isn't right. It is a cult at a certain point. And the guy on court TV talking about Amish people, he said they're cult like. He calls them a cult, says they refuse to talk to him about a missing child, but then they go on and on about how they make good food and he bought 13 pies. It just encapsulated everything so many people think about Amish people in our country. It's so stupid. I'm sorry. It's absolutely stupid. Just because somebody, and Titus Morris is proof of it too. Just because somebody puts on some Amish, some old fashioned clothes doesn't mean they are a good person. It means they can be a good person. I respect people who dress however they choose to dress. But it is apparent when this woman was talking about how she put her child in that lake, like she was like confessing basically. And I get it, mental illness. Like, I don't want to say that she is evil. Like, even the old they said they come from the old Amish order church, which is kind of weird for me. Wouldn't old order Amish not drive golf carts? I'm a little confused. But an old order Amish church made a statement that said this has nothing to do with our beliefs. This is mental illness. And I'm sure most people that are Amish agree with that. Okay. So I'm not trying to say they're all bad at all either. But it's just so interesting to me, particularly this big YouTuber has like 500,000 subscribers, Legally Armed America. I watch him and he's just like gushing about Amish people the whole time. Clearly, you've never lived in a community with them, because if you did, you wouldn't be gushing about them, because you would know they're just like everybody else. The four bugs, horses, and whatever I passed, out of the four of them, one man smiled and waved back at me. That's about been my experience. About 25% of them will treat you like you're human, and they're really nice. They're salt of the earth kind of people. They really are good people that don't seem to judge you just because you're not like them. And then 50 to 75% easily think you're like literally a form of the devil walking the earth. Like, why do you think they live the way that they live? It's a doomsday cult. And this woman is talking about the end of times. It's on clear display, and people are still like, oh, yeah, those, like, just like talking all this stuff about Amish people. It's like, no, we need to, because of Amish people, I think that every state should make it so every home educated family needs to have somebody come in their home and check on their kids once a year, even twice a year, once a semester. I think our kids, I think we should hire 60, 70,000 people to do shit like that instead of the IRS people we just hired. Our kids are worth it. They're our future. We need to check up on these kids who are being kept at home. And I say that as a home educating mom myself, okay? I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't love that. No, I'd like to have my privacy. But I totally understand that, and I would open up my home to be a part of a program like that. I think it would be for the best. So I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not really and I'm almost done with my notes. I barely had any. I love how they seem close to the land, but they do seem slow, Earthbrain said. Well, Earthbrain, yeah, and like I've always said, like, I have children on the autism spectrum. I don't like saying like low IQ, and I have caught myself saying it before because I do believe like we all offer things, and like somebody can be low IQ and still talented in such a way that I could never be. And like that's what we're all put here to discover our talents and help others discover theirs. However, there is some inbreeding going on. There is the same families having children, and like inbreeding, a lot of people are under the misconception that's like a brother and a sister have a baby, they're automatically genetically messed up. It usually takes a few more generations of like close inbreeding to occur. And then it might even take more when it's like, second, third cousins. Like it's like the same family since the 1800s. Not all, but wouldn't you say? Anna Yoder, she knows more about this to me. These are not the same Amish as what I call real Amish. Okay, yeah, I'd appreciate your input because you obviously know way more than me. And I'm speaking from like my perspective. I understand everybody's going to have like something different, but I've been in a situation before where I had to turn around in a driveway. It was at the end of the road. This lady I just delivered to had her gate put up because of her dogs. I literally, one lane country road, with ditches on both sides. I had to turn around in this one driveway, and I was half surrounded by teenage Amish boys just staring at me. And I roll my windows down, like, I'm sorry, I had to turn around. And they're just like glaring at me, like, you ain't from around here, get out of here. And I just wonder, has anybody ever, like, I know you guys are going to laugh at me, I don't care. Has anybody ever pulled in that driveway and not come out? And nobody knows because they're Amish and nobody's going to suspect them of it. And it was just like, this woman was being treated with kitty gloves, and I think it was beyond because of mental illness. It's because of like what she dressed. It's because she was a white woman. There is privilege to being a white person, a white woman in this country. And it was kind of weird to me how she had no accent. Now, Anna, do all Amish people have the Dutch kind of accent? The Amish people I've interacted with, they usually have an, like, I don't know what to call it, but a little accent. Not all, but like she had like none. Usually, like, I don't want to say they speak funny, but usually you can tell by the way that they talk that they grew up speaking that Dutch language. Like they speak a little different, even if it's not accent, certain words you can pick up on it. And this woman, she spoke so plainly English. That was just like something to me. But I'm sure there's Amish people that have no accents, right? Mm. Amish be making good furniture. Yeah, don't trust anything that says it's Amish made just because so. Like, check the quality. Any truly good quality Amish furniture is like probably going to be out of my price range for my whole lifetime. They want thousands and thousands of dollars for like a rocking chair, and it probably will last hundreds of years because it's so well made. But there's a lot of Amish things out there. They slap the Amish thing on it. And I'm not saying they're not made by Amish, but they don't care. Like the Amish shed we got made, we had them frame it out. My husband made the floor plan. There was all these different, like this much difference in the walls. We're like, guys, we need our walls to all be the same height. Why are there, how are we supposed to put drywall up with walls that are different heights? And then so they sent somebody out and he was very mean. I'm not just saying this. He was mean. He didn't say one word to us. We said hi. We said thank you. He wouldn't look at us. And it was him and his son begrudgingly stomping around and being in a sour mood. And his wife, like, just like sitting there outside of our house the whole time. And I felt so bad about it. But it's like we paid good money. And yeah, we paid them extra to frame it out. And then they give us varying wall heights. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? So I don't know. Am I a magnet for um BS? I feel like I'm not because I've also like I've won some cool giveaways and stuff in my lifetime. I won a year's supply of fish oil from Barlean's once. That's a really good brand. And that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. And thankfully we had that good ass pediatrician at the time that told us that if you eat meat, you don't need the 3, 6, 9s. You can actually get too much omegas. And I'm sorry, I forget which one it is, but you don't need 3, 6, and 9 because one of those is, you're taken care of if you eat meat, you know. And anyways, so people, this is something that the Amish woman said to the cops. Okay. I want to read from my notes before I get into the chat because I'm like all over the place. I can already tell. I'm sorry about that. She said, people are going to tell me I'm crazy, but he loves you and he is real. End times are coming soon. And she like puts her hands on the cop. And this is oh my gosh, it's just it's so crazy how it's like both ends of the spectrum, you know? Like I think part of the world going to shit is less people believing in God. So I'm not knocking on religion. Like I think religion can definitely be a good thing and the community that religion brings with it can be so good. But in this world, we're all so corrupted, everything's getting so bad. It's like even like the people in the most tight knit communities because I will say that about Amish people like they know how to even though they shun people that don't, you know, agree and fall in line, they're definitely way more tight knit, and we could all learn more about that. I know my family is like, there's no matriarch of our family anymore. Like, if I called my mom, that's why I have no contact. If I called her and wanted advice or something, she makes me feel like I'm bothering her, and she's like, "I'm taking a bath. I've got to go." Like literally, every time I ever try to just chit chat with her, she's like, "I'm taking a bath. I got to go." And it's like I know that I'm not the only person with a boomer parent like that. That it's like what are we here on this earth for? Why are we even family if we're never going to get together? So they are very good at being close knit, and that's a good thing. And I should highlight like something positive about them. Um, but she also said, like, clearly delusional. The husband was at the bottom of the lake in a fish, and I know it's like Jonah and the whale, and she tried to drown the teens in a golf cart, the 15-year-old daughter and 2 18-year-old twins, but didn't get attempted murder charges. Once again, why? Why? And like it just strikes me as weird. They're automatically like ruling the husband as a suicide, and I don't know for sure like what evidence they have to like not charge her for anything at all with that. But like, do we have proof he wasn't like conked on the head or poisoned or something? And it's so bad how it can go both ways, you know, like, religion can be the faith, the motivation that can get somebody through the worst things in their life, that can make somebody want to be a better person. It can also lead to delusions like this, and it in their communities, you know, it's been speculated she had issues before, that she probably, maybe allegedly suffers from schizophrenia because she's had issues hearing voices before. And then when you live in a community, I literally saw a psychologist say this. I subscribed to her, I forgot her name already, I didn't write it down. She literally said, if it's good, like if you're hearing good messages from God, she said this in her comment section. I don't agree with this. If you're hearing good messages from God, then it's not a delusion. And she's Christian herself, so of course the psychologist would say this, but if you're hearing bad messages, then it's a delusion and it's schizophrenia. She literally said that in her comment section. I'll go take a screenshot of it because I'm like, okay, so these are like what mental health professionals that are religious like think. I think that is what honestly, like, I guess that's what I think. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay if you're like, if Jesus came and told you everything's going to be all right, right? But if Jesus comes and tells you to off your child, then clearly that's wrong. But what if they were both the same thing? What if they were delusions? And that's what people look at religious people as. Oh my gosh. And pleading insanity makes sense. She was trying to stay in contact with her kids, which makes no sense. I don't know why she's only charged with domestic violence when she drove those teenagers into the lake. This one person explained it as well, like they weren't that much in harm's way, but the fact that she was trying to do to them what she already did to her previous child and took their life from it. Like, I'm sorry, I think she should be charged with attempted murder because of that. And once again, I just can't help but think if this was any other person, if she wasn't Amish, would she be? Okay. Yeah. If I think I already said this, but I just want to say it again. If it was black people from the inner city that this cop was talking about, people not talking to them about a missing child's case. Cults to Consciousness is a great YouTube channel. You don't want to take my word for it, my hearsay, my anecdotal evidence. I understand. I'm just a person. You try living among them. You'll see, like, they're not all sunshine and rainbows. And the kind of people that purposely don't seek mental health help when they need it, don't seek help from the law when they need it, there's cases on Cults to Conscious where girls get impregnated by a family member, have the baby's taken and adopted out to some other Amish community. They don't have birth certificates and stuff. Why do we wouldn't let anybody else get away with this if they weren't following the Old Testament? You know what I mean? And it's like any other call that they were like they'd be being investigated. The proof is out there. People have came and left and said, I had a baby, they took it away, and I have no idea where my child is. Like, I didn't even know what pregnancy was when I was pregnant. Like, the okay, I'm gonna read the comments a little bit. Well, you don't have to be in any live stream either. Um, I'm not obsessed with racism, but it's a real conquer and divide tactic that they're using right now. I feel like, I think we were shying away from a lot of racism when I was growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, and they stoked the racism, just like the gender wars. Not that men and women haven't always like butted heads. Okay. Some kids are better at, okay. Another YouTuber gave up on the Whitakers, Mr. Carey. I think I was watching what you were watching. Um, is his name Brandon? Is that what you're talking about, Mr. Carey? Or you're saying thumbs up to Brandon? Oh, yeah, you're saying thumbs up to Brandon. Um, yeah, there's always gonna be a bunch of you probably have white privilege yourself if you're sitting on YouTube live stream in the middle of the day just trolling people. I really don't care what anybody who hops into random live streams to say, troll shit has to say, because I'm sure you're a loser. The strong Amish have an accent. She seemed like a mental case to me, someone who joined or left a long time ago. Yes, okay. Okay, so they don't all have accents. We don't use most of, yeah, that what happened to the lady on the train was horrible, Brandon, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when people go to court, legal things like that. White people definitely do have privilege. And we all know if this was some black woman, I'm sorry, black women do have it the worst. I don't care who doesn't agree with me. I've seen it my whole life. They get shit on the most by everybody across the board. So the wall hides in their heads is due to them regulating heat in the summer and heat in the winter. Um, okay, Yoder, I wish they would have explained that to me, but how do you put ceilings in? You know what I mean? Hey, shot to the T, how are you? She wasn't defending white privilege as much as she was saying that she understands the perception of it, Earth Brain. Thank you, Earth Brain. Uh, Hi, F.I. Stubble Knee. If you're still here. My husband, born and raised Amish, I'm not offended at all about what she's saying, Yoder said. See, because some people can listen to other people, whether, like, I'm sure Anna doesn't agree with every single thing I say, but like, you don't have to agree with somebody to not be offended by it. And that's like a lost art in our country, like most of us. And I had to retrain my brain a little bit too, to be a less judgmental person and really only care about stuff that actually matters. And so it's like these cases with kids lately. It's so disturbing. Just like Emmanuel Haro, that baby should have never existed because that man should have been locked away in jail for the rest of his life after what he did to what he did to his child, the daughter who's going to be brain damaged for the rest of her life. Like there's so many clear cut cases that like people don't care about kids. Like my first thought, like I know this sounds cold and like it is what it is. I'm more worried about those 3 teenagers and, like, all the people in the community than the mentally ill lady. Clearly, she's, in her own little head, she's gonna be fine, you know what I mean? Like, but the people suffering from real trauma that are gonna be affected for the rest of their lives, so many lives affected, 2 lives lost, 1 life for sure at her own hands, and like, the commentary on it, I'm not doing a good job explaining, like, so many people are just, like, going on and on about how and they like, a lot of Amish pies, they're not, like, made from scratch like you guys think they are. They go to Walmart. Every time I go to Walmart, there's Amish people there. People that don't live in communities with Amish think that they like literally make, as some of them do, but not nearly as many of them are farmers as they used to be. For the same reason, there aren't as many farmers, period, because of all the regulations and how hard the government has made it on farmers to farm. And that's a problem. But they're not like eating from scratch all the time. They eat a lot of sugar. A lot of them have dental issues because of it, just like me and a lot of other people. So I'm not like, I'm not trying to talk down about anybody because of that. But they'll like go to Walmart and get like GMO flour and make their egg noodles with it and sell it to you. And you're thinking like, oh, it's made from scratch, Amish, like this is as good as it gets. And it's like you might as well just be getting the Walmart egg noodles and you probably pay less. Hi Riyadh, how are you? I'm talking about I'm absolutely fine with people coming in that, like, don't know it, I just don't know why people come in and then get, like, mean, It's like, I don't know, like, whatever you've got going on in your life, I've never in my life felt like just walking in a conversation and being like, "You're wrong," except for when I was, like, literally 5 years old. Um, Riyadh, I think it's a divide and conquer. They want us to not get along, you know what I mean? And it's, thank you, Rumbling Bubble. I need to get the link for it up. It's from Amazon, the background. What Amish and Mennonites do wrong is they send them to a clinic in Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. They get therapy for 2 weeks, pills, and sent home. There's no keeping up with medications, Yoder said. Oh, that's very interesting. So it sounds like they're trying to do their due diligence when somebody has mental health issues, but yeah, you need to keep going to get the prescriptions. Hey, Blue Skies, I'm doing well. How are you? Riyadh said, "We separate ourselves instead of coming together." And that's interesting you said that because that's how I feel about Amish people. They like separate themselves from the rest of us. Like I said, I passed 4 horse and buggies. There must have been something going on. And like I wave to all of them because I slow down if my music is loud, which it usually is. I turn it down because I don't want to scare their horses. I'm like I'm try to be a good neighbor to them. And like I slow down and I wave to them. And like literally 3 out of 4 were like, and then one guy was like, like, "Yeah, you're you're a Christian that follows the Bible, I can tell." And like the other people are a part of a cult that think everybody that aren't like them are going to, hell. Hell. Why am I spelling out hell? And that's very judgmental of me. I get it. I'm being very judgmental right now. I admit it. Um Woo, what is your problem? Are you a lonely person or what? I spent 4 hours outside today already with my son, and I'm worn out from gardening and weeding. I have so many weeds, and I found this really cool plant growing in my front bed I didn't know I had. It's like a vining plant, sweetheart vine. I forget, it has these really cute little red flowers and like fern-like leaves, and I'm obsessed with it. So I was clearing that for like an hour after reading to my kid for an hour. I have a lot going on. I'm educating the future of America. What are you doing with your life? I'm already educated too, and they're in middle school, or I'm sorry, they're both in high school right now as we speak, making A's and B's. I'm making productive members of society. I'm growing food that I'm going to share with my neighbors. What are you doing with your life, Woot? Cleaning and cooking really good food. I made homemade potato soup last night and I picked 3 summer squash. I'm gonna make fried zucchini to be ready for my son when he gets off the bus today. What are you gonna do tonight, Woo? What are you gonna do with your life? Okay. It's so weird you guys have Amish people. Rumbling Bubble, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Are you from another country? Another thing is, like, some countries it's illegal to homeschool. Some countries you couldn't be religious zealot cult like and like stay to yourself in your own communities and keep your kids at home and not expose them hardly ever to the outside world. And I'm not saying this to make fun of the kids. It sincerely saddens me. I've had so many situations. It is sad. The way these kids act is sad. And I'm all about home education. Your kids are more out in the world. They socialize with more people than being in a classroom with 24 kids like within a year of their age. If you do it right. So, but like it's like the things that I've heard, and it's like I think there's too many of them that aren't doing it right, honestly. And we need to protect kids because they are very important. I just never go around to other people's YouTube and be like, "You only have 15 subscribers. What are you doing?" I'm very proud of my channel, and I love talking to the handful of people that always show up for me. It makes me feel great. I don't have a lot of socialization since I quit my full-time job, and I really do sincerely love my YouTube friends. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It makes me happy. So when I feel like socializing, I hop on here, and nobody could ever make me feel bad about the fact that my small channel actually gets really good views. Your goal should be like half of your subscriber count for views. I consistently get well over my subscriber count in views. So like nothing anybody could say to me would ever make me feel bad about my YouTube channel because I know that especially for my loud mouth and my opinions, like I'm very proud of the growth and I attract very good people. That's why as soon as somebody starts acting like a little shit, I call them out for it because there's absolutely no reason. There's, people as possible as I can. But if you're going to come in here and start talking about you've only had 15 people watching you, how many people have you ever had watching you in a live stream? I have a feeling zero because anybody that had a significant amount of people in a live stream wouldn't be coming to a smaller streamer's stream and saying stuff like that. Yeah, and I've been working since 6:30 in the morning. It's called being a stay-at-home mom. I'm from Finland, Rumbling Bubble said. We have reindeer and Santa Claus. Well, good for you. I would love to move to Finland. I have heard so many great things about Finland, and I'm sure that there's cons to it too. But I think being a more homogenous country helps. But I'm still glad I'm from a melting pot. Like, I adore our melting pot here. So I don't mean that like I wish our country was homogenous. I'm just saying that speculating, being smaller and homogeneous. Billy Clancy, summer squash is so good. I have this one called rugosa. I'll show you guys. It's like bumpy and it's like a snake. It grows all funny. And then I have two green ones, which I think are just what is it called? Is it something beauty, like a really typical squash variety? And then I've got some yellow ones about ready to mature, but I'm gonna wait till this weekend to get those. Yellow squash is my favorite. No, here in South Africa, we promote homeschooling. I wish I had that honestly. Riyadh, you're in South Africa. You wish you had a small a community of like-minded people. I do get that, but like when it's a call where like you have to follow the same strict set of rules, and if you don't, you're shunned. I don't agree with that. Like as human beings, we should be able to grow and express ourselves. You said only 15 people were watching me woo. It's like you're trying to make me feel bad about myself and you still like it. If I really wanted to, I would just block you. Blue Skies, you've done great recently on YouTube. Are you monetized now? Yes, Blue Skies, I've been monetized since July. I'm getting my first YouTube check in a few weeks. So that's like a dream come true. I never thought I'd be monetized. I've been trying off and on for 7 years, guys. And like a lot of people, it isn't easy to get monetized on YouTube when you look at like, the percentage of people that try and the percentage of people that don't ever achieve it. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, there's a lot of Amish there. Yes, Billy, there's the most biggest Amish communities are in Pennsylvania. Yes, Mr. Carey. He said 15 viewers, or she, whatever Woo is. Here you go, getting defensive again. I was asking why you don't think about volunteering. And I was telling you, I have a special needs kid who needs me more than anybody I would go volunteer for, Woot. My kid is 8 years old. He can't talk yet. So I'd rather spend all of my extra time with him. And you can see my YouTube, an hour or two, maybe 3 hours, mostly 95% of the time after his bedtime, I spend talking to people. And I've gotten monetized just running my mouth. I think that's pretty cool. Hey Zeus, I agree. Your channel is small, but when I see your view counts on your videos, your channel punches way above its weight. Thank you, Jesus. And if I wanted to make like, I've gotten 15, 20,000 views when I was talking about Sydney Sweeney and stuff. I just don't want to bore the people that are here for like more of a variety of content talking about the same stories, like pop culture stories that everybody talks about. Like when I get on YouTube and I see like 10, 20 people all talking about the same story, it makes me want to talk about it less. Um, No, Woo. I think I struck a nerve with you. That's why you won't get off of it. You're the one who's in here on somebody else's channel trying to make me feel bad about the fact I had 15 people watching me when I think that's amazing and awesome. So I'm going to tell you about it. Rumbling Bubble, we also have a lot of tar and battle axes. Hell yeah. If you knew anything about my channel, Woo, I think we're all specks of dust. I'm a speck of dust. You're a speck of dust. And we're all going to be dead within 60 years. And I really couldn't care less what you think. That's the kind of message I would like to spread to other people because so many people are feeling so hopeless. And I do know what it's like to feel hopeless. I do know what it feels like to want to go to sleep and not wake up. And I hate that for people. So, like, when somebody comes at me, I'm always like, what is going on in their head? Are they struggling? And I try to be nice. But yeah, I've been through a lot in the past few weeks. And it's really annoying to have somebody. I was just asking you a question. What? Are you a woman? You're a woman, right? Woo. I would sure at first I just assumed man because of the aggression. Now I'm guessing you're a woman, right? And bet money on it. Also, for someone to get in front of a screen and have something of substance to stay on a constant basis takes talent. Oh, thank you, Jesus. And Jesus has disagreed with me before, right, Jesus? We can understand each other better, even if you don't agree. I really appreciate the people who can disagree with me and cause a little healthy discourse, and we can still be friends. And I think that's Riyadh liked schooling at home. That's good. I'm glad. And I think it is great in good situations. I'm a big advocate for homeschooling, but because our country allows it, it does lend to maybe certain communities getting away with more than they should. Blue skies, Lydia has enough to do without volunteering. Thank you, blue skies. Um, Well, Woo, you're the one who started being passive aggressive. Does everybody agree with me? Did I start with the passive aggressiveness or did I just like give it when I got it? Because you seem to be the kind of person that can dish it out, but you can't take it. Because you came in my live stream and started saying, you only have 15 viewers. That is very passive aggressive. I never in my life have ever done that. And I never would do that. Because if I don't like somebody, I just like stay away. I don't want to give them views. Hi, Gohar, if you're still here. Y'all know that meme with the cat gazing into space? We really need that in this, huh? I don't know that meme, but I love cats and like spacey cat memes. Well, you yourself had negative tone from the start. When confronted, you act like you didn't do anything. Rumbling Bubble said, "Thank you." Yoder said, "Ats." Oh yeah, oh yeah. Woot. Are you beyond help? You know what I'm talking about? Are you a little beyond help, Woot? Are you in a manic phase? You have nobody to email 24 times in a row in 3 hours. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at that, that's not funny. Like I said, like, I really shouldn't laugh at him. "No, you're not rude, Mr. Carey needs to lend a bra to Woot," Yoder said. Yeah, because I'm sure one of mine wouldn't fit. Jesus, yes, disagree to the point that I thought you banned me. In reality, it was YouTube. Yes, I see. I didn't ban Woo. Somebody has to be like straight up out of line. Like I always hope, like there is hope. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's not like just straight up, like when that one girl, like I was going back and forth with her, and then she said "fuck you." I'm like, I know, no, I've never said "fuck you" to anybody on the internet. I really don't think I've ever typed those words to somebody. And this woman is like, I'm sure she would say she's a better person than me because she's like really super Christian and religious. And it's just interesting. But yeah, thank you, Billy Clancy. And Billy, I appreciate your support. And I've had people when I brought like marital issues, like I've had people say things to me, and like sometimes you do need I'm the kind of person I can take varying opinions and I appreciate it. And I really do feel like when I hear the same thing from especially older people like over and over, like I'm gonna take heed to that. I listen to my elders, you know? So anyways, Riyadh, Lydia, trust me, you'd rather be the one to be closest to your child because children taking in any information at a young age and can be easily influenced. I think you would agree with me. Oh yes, Riyadh. So we have an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old, and our 8-year-old. And the 15-year-old and 18-year-old, we homeschooled until seventh and ninth grade. The oldest one went in at ninth, and the youngest one went in at seventh. And I really do feel like they got such a good foundation. And I'm not saying this like to I feel like I'm bragging, but it's just true. Every single friend they make, their parents come to me and gush to me about my kids. Like they're, oh my gosh, like my kid is a better person, a better kid. They behave better. I can't wait for your kid to come over because like he acts better around him. And like um my middle son didn't want me to tell anybody that he was home educated, you know, like it was a thing for him for a few years. I respected that and recently I told a mom because she was like just like going on and on. I was like, you know what, I think it is, and please don't say anything because he doesn't want anybody to know. But yeah, he was home educated for most of his school career. I have no doubt that's why they're so grounded and such good kids now. And I feel bad saying that because I know some people can't help it. Some people can't help it, especially now. But I really want to make content about like because it is so hard as a woman. Like we need to tell young women like you need to pick being a mother or having a career. And now most people can't pick that because we all need to work. We all need to work to survive more so more than ever. But, like it's still like it really irks me to still see that message. Like we need to be honest with young women like, you can work a little later in life, it's fine. You don't get into a bunch of student loan debt. I have a few $1,000s of student loan debt compared to like six figures. And most people I know that have college degrees are like very into debt, and the interest rate is so bad they're going to have that debt the rest of their lives. And like, gosh, see, I feel bad saying this is a message to younger people. I'm not trying to talk crap about anybody else because those people are also doing better than us financially, technically. But you know, they also carry with it a lot more debt. And like we need to prepare young people, like more people now than ever need to be okay with like living in a one room cabin, living in a single wide trailer. There are alternatives to owning a house other than these $300,000, 1,200 square foot, what used to be 80 to $120,000 starter home. Like but we need to encourage people to think outside the box. And with the birth rate plummeting and everything, we need to be honest with women because people weren't honest with me when I was in my teens and 20s. They're just wait until you're ready. Wait until you're ready. Your body's not going to be ready then, most likely. And like that's like it's such a weird, nuanced topic to talk about. But I don't identify as Christian. No, if you're still here, only way to know is if they say misogyny. Mr. Carey said, right? Uh, okay, let's just block Woo. They're obviously like I don't ever want this person to come back to this channel. I've never had somebody leave so many comments and, like, insist on um, "Your shirt matches your eyes." Oh, thanks. It's a dress. It's like a Old Navy dress, and it has pockets. I got this at Goodwill. One time I bought 10 sundresses for a little under $100. It was in a small town Goodwill near here, and this was one of them. And, like, 3 years ago, I got 10 dresses for $100. Anyways, um Riyadh, I don't follow a particular religion. I've studied, loosely studied, like Buddhism. My grandpa converted to Hinduism when I was a child, and not that he really spoke to me a lot about it, but I guess like I do align more so with like Buddhism and than I don't know why I made that face. I really do believe in Jesus Christ and in his teachings. I just think that the Bible, like there's lost books and the books that we do have might have been manipulated and written by men. I think that women had more power, possibly there were even female disciples and things like that. That's where I'm coming from. Like I definitely don't fault anybody for being religious. I think it's a beautiful thing. I wish that I had like more faith and I just can't honestly say that I believe in the Bible word for word. It's okay, Mr. Carey. What did Blue Sky say? Our peppers are all done in the UK. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I bet it's a little too cold for peppers, huh? Um, when you say all done, did you mean a big harvest? That's why I said that's exciting. Like, did you harvest a bunch? I thought my cucumbers were all done, but I have this one cucumber vine that's like hanging on that was a baby. And I should get off of here soon. I was going to be on here for a half an hour. I didn't think I'd rant. My whole point is this case really does highlight, like, look in the commentary of the videos too. The people making the videos, like that. I'm sorry, guys. Legally armed American, and this guy's a conservative. I respect everything he had to say. He went on and on and on about transgenders. Apparently, like, they still can't get off of the transgender issue. They're like 0.2% of the population, which I do. Once again, I'm a centrist. I get it. I made a video about the difference between the male and the female brain because there are differences. There's no like looking at a brain being like, this is female, this is male. Besides, like, the weight, male brains tend to be bigger. Duh, their skulls are bigger. They're just bigger. But it's just really interesting to me. Like, there's no that argument was used. I have a female brain, but no, there's no such thing. They vary. Anyways, but I feel like I can't unprivate that video because I say transgender so much in it, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And but anyways, this guy is just like it's just like it's funny to me how he's like talking about that at the end of the video, but he doesn't see the delusion and the cults of the Amish. Some Amish people, not all. Okay, I can't stress that enough. And even cults to consciousness, it's the same thing. Like, a lot of them still have their religion. A lot of them leave the Amish and they're still religious. They still believe in Jesus Christ and the Bible. It's not about not believing in that. Shine through darkness. You will believe when you die, but you will not believe where you are going. Shine through darkness. I think I did have a near death experience, a shared death experience with a friend who passed away, and it was very scary. It the only thought I could think was I wasn't ready yet and I wanted to be with my kids. Earth brain, I feel like a creator wouldn't be so monkey brain to create people with a certain quality and then punish them for eternity over a mere 60 years for not believing. Earth brain, right? I've always struggled with that too. Like, I can't help, I didn't grow up in a family where I was gonna say indoctrinated. That word comes out of my mouth a lot. And I don't want to, once again, like, I think real faith is beautiful, but I think maybe it does take a little bit of indoctrination to believe that word for word and like and to believe in the concept of hell. And I've heard of some near death experiences where it seems like they were in hell. So I'm not saying that I 100% for sure know there's not a hell. I just don't want to believe in that 100% and think that like with the Titus Moore situation, somebody can do horrible egregious things to children and animals in front of children. But as long as he says he's sorry to Jesus and God, then we should all forgive him. Like, I don't agree with that at all. I will never agree with that, and apparently there's a lot of Christians that don't agree with that. Um, but I do. This is the way I look at it. The God in the Bible is a real God, you know? So I'm not trying to say that like people that are Christians don't believe in the right. It's like that is part of God. That is part of it. Every major religion, every little religion, anytime anybody ever felt connected in love from a higher power, that is God. Blue Sky says so. It's now what people think. Riyadh, yes, 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 Lydia. Oh my goodness, I could cook your family a lovely meal because we Muslims try to deliver the truth always. I'm subscribing to you. Oh, Riyadh, so you're Muslim? Yeah, and I've said the same thing about Muslims. Like, most Muslims I've met are like great, peaceful, great people, but it's the extreme ones that ruin it for the rest, right? And it's like the Amish people are like the extreme Christians that are like the bad examples of that religion. I hate to say that, but I'm glad to have you, Riyadh. Thank you. Believing other lying prone monkeys, Earthbrain said. Blue skies, neither is sitting in a cave for 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days having compassion for anyone else. Oh, yeah. Yeah, blue skies. Nobody does anything like that anymore now, right? Are you talking about Buddha? Buddha, when you say that, blue skies, I want to make sure I know I'm following you correctly. Shine through darkness. I just think we're at the end of a cycle and like it's bad right now. Like, it's just bad. Everything's as bad as it gets, or it's going to get even worse, which is kind of scary. But you guys see that, like, the job market, the way they're talking about jobs, it's so funny. It's like we've all known it's been bad for a while. And like, and you see, Ox Talks. I really like this guy, Ox Talks. I thought he had a huge channel. He only has like 12,000 subscribers. That guy, he's like a lawyer or something. He does really good videos, not fear mongering at all. And he held up this chart I saw today. Oh my gosh. It's like if this was a 2008 crisis, we are worse than the 2008 crisis already. And the pandemic was nothing compared to what's going on now. And now they're all like freaking out because they're all like sitting up on a cloud doing nothing for work. And they don't realize that it's been like this for freaking years for most of us. Everything costs too much. There's hardly any jobs. What? And now they're like freaking out, running around like chickens with their heads cut off. It's so funny to me. Shine through darkness. Why speak when you have no basis of your belief? Well, shine through darkness because I think that the only way to grow is to share our ideas and bounce them off of other people. And I like hearing other people's input when I talk about mine. Blue skies, Christ is the truth. I went through most religions and occult practices to learn this. The pursuit of ultimate truth always ends with Christ, Blue skies said. And I always gravitate towards the Bible myself too. So that's why I'm like, I would never say I'll never call myself a Christian, but like, yeah. Shine through darkness said, I died 34 years ago today. Are you talking about an NDE shine? Yoder, without getting mad at me, each time you mention dresses of Amish and Mennonite women is to me just as annoying as I feel when you pet your hair, LOL. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Riyadh, yes, Lydia, you're on the right track. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Riyadh. Ron Wyatt. I am following Ron Wyatt, Blue Skies. And yeah, I would tend to believe somebody like Ron Wyatt more than an atheist scientist. If you don't know who Ron Wyatt is, he's done a lot of investigations on all sorts of like tangible evidence from the Bible. And he has a YouTube channel he like uploads to regularly here on YouTube. Ron Wyatt found literally everything from the Bible, including the molds made to make the wings on the Ark of the Covenant, Blue Sky said. And yeah, so it's the kind of thing, it's like if you're going to believe in that, you'll believe Ron Wyatt. But then if you're not going to believe in it, you're going to like refuse to believe in any expert that believes in God like him. And like, so it's like, but yeah, I'd rather believe in an expert that believes in God than one that's like, oh, this was all just a big bang, And like, carbon dating, like, you're trusting a lot, like, just trusting them, like, yeah, I don't know, I'm not God, I'm not saying I know any better, but I don't how do we know to trust them 100% what they say to trust about carbon dating, you know? You missed my first comment related to Buddhism, Lydia. When you follow it deeply and get on the Vajrayana path, you will have to do a practice called merging with wrathful deities, which is demonic possession. Oh, I did not know that, Blue Skies. Thank you for letting me know that I missed a comment, Blue Skies. Jesus said, yeah, that sounds like a lot of production for little compensation to the content creator. Sad part might be that the content creator are grateful for the check. I'm sorry I missed you, Blue Skies. But yeah, like that's what I was talking about, like the tenets, which Buddhism, like there's so many texts for it, right? There's no like one Bible. It's not like it's clear cut is other major religions. So it's like from what about it, but I really don't agree with like people that suffer did something in a previous lifetime to deserve it. I think I like to believe that like people come here, their soul made the decision, and maybe even their soul made the decision with God or with a group of other souls that are like their spirit guides. It's like I came to this planet knowing I was going to be a mother of special needs children. I came to this planet knowing I was going to be a mother. I came to this planet knowing that I was going to go through some crap and then turn around and talk about it. And I'm as cliche as it sounds. If I could help one young woman from not making the same decisions I made, then all of this is worth it. All these hours on YouTube is worth it. I'm not kidding. I just got goosebumps when I said that. I mean that with all my heart. And Riyadh, Lydia, please get yourself a Quran if you want. You will have access to so much knowledge that will give you clarity in life. I do have a Quran, Riyadh. So I don't have a Torah. I have a copy of the Quran. I have the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I know that's not a Buddhist Bible, but that's like one of their. I have the Bhagavad Gita. I know there's a lot more to Hinduism than just the Bhagavad Gita, but yeah. So took world religions in college, and that was my favorite class. And it was a Seventh day Adventist preacher who taught the class in Broward Community College in Florida. And he was such an interesting person to me. So I don't look down on all Seventh day Adventists either, even though a lot of people look at them as a cult. I think it's one of those things, once again, it can be. But like that man was definitely not cult. And he was so accepting of that's why he wanted to teach and share world religions with other people. Billy claims when Ron Wyatt found blood under the site of the crucifixion, he had it analyzed and proved that it is viable. Right, right. And what are the Eschartic miracles? Am I saying that right? Where it's like there's been a few things where once again, like I believe him. I lean towards believing these people. Blood should be like dead blood cells and it's still alive. Like there's no explaining that. Hi, Prince Hope. Ron was self-funded and carbon dating is nonsense, in my opinion. Been proven wrong many times, Blue Sky said. Oh, thanks for showing those emojis, Mr. Carey. I'm still working on my emojis. I want to start having a members only live every Saturday to make up for like not hardly having anything to offer for you guys. Hi Javier, how are you? Blue skies, it's dressed up as a religion of compassion, but is ultimately the most selfish practice that exists. That's really interesting, Blue skies. I did not know that. Yeah, I do probably have to go soon. Billy, I hope you have a nice day, Billy, if you're still here. Oh, Billy, thank you. You're so sweet. I really appreciate you, Billy. I enjoy a little bit of this and that from every religion, Yoder said. Blue skies, the blood had all the chromosomes of the mother, just one from the father god. Oh, that's really interesting. Well, I know that usually mitochondrial DNA does give you most of your genetic information, right? I don't know how that differs exactly from what's typical, but Riyadh, you will get there. Lydia, take your time with it. Read and understand. Just be careful. There are a lot of people that are misleading people. Right. I feel like I'm always going to be somebody that kind of bounces around spiritual beliefs. Blue skies, yeah, he had it analyzed. But I do want to make some content on missing books of the Bible. That's something somebody requested too, and I really am interested in it. But yeah, so I want to say it one more time before I go. This this recent case in Ohio, and the way people talk about it, the way people speculate about Amish people, really shows that people are still deluded by. Sorry, my dog just came in here to make a bunch of noise. Sweet girl. That they are immune from crime, that like certain things don't happen. Obviously, people don't think they're immune from mental illness, they're not. But it's the same thing with everything else. There is crime, there's addiction, there's abuse, there's all the bad things. There's, children being taken advantage of, impregnated, their babies taken away and put in other communities. When I heard that, I'm like, when is this gonna, like, when are enough people gonna hear that to care enough to like do something about it? And what can we do about it? I guess try to make legislation or whatever. When these people leave their communities, they have a really hard time. It's just weird to me. So they can go get a birth certificate and a social security card with a report card from an Amish schoolhouse, and it it's just odd that this is allowed in our country, and it's like, I like that we have so much freedom of religion, freedom to home educate, but yeah, I almost wonder how many kids that we've never even heard of. What I mean, might be laying at the bottom of a lake somewhere. Okay, I'm done. Blue skies, yeah, he analyzed lots of the Apocrypha. Okay, you Apocrypha are very interesting. You said that to me once and I wrote it down. And then when I looked it up, I couldn't find that much about it, but I did listen to what I could find. And when I say that, I mean YouTube. I'm like, I'm not good at wasted. Oh, I wish I knew. I mean, the only good answer really is because there's a handful of oligarchs at the top that want everything to go to them, and they're going to learn soon enough they can't siphon much more off of us. There's not much more left to siphon. We should be living like the Jetsons by now. We should have high-speed trains everywhere in our country. Our trains are like from the late 1800s, basically, or whatever, early 1900s. We like the technology. We should have fucking conveyor belt sidewalks. Kind of, that probably wouldn't be a good idea here because of the health issues. But it is just so sad. The way we eat, and you look at other countries, we eat so horribly here. Half of my coworkers in their 20s have diabetes. It's bad, guys. It's bad. Like, we can't keep going on this path. Like, it's really, really detrimental to all of us. And I think people look at Amish people and like, we could learn a lot from them. We should learn, take the good, leave the bad. And that's the only answer, in my opinion, to all of this. Everything I ever talk about is to be more self sustainable, vote with your dollar to like create a drastically different life than what you probably thought you would have. You might have to hunker down for a little bit and like I said, live in a one-room cabin, live in an RV, live in a single wide trailer while you get your money up a little bit. It's just like the reality of the situation is things have changed so much and I don't think that there's like an easy turnaround. There's no going back to normal. There's just creating our new normal. Okay. I'm breaking up. Love you guys. I'll see you later.